What's up, guys and gals, lords, lads, and ladies? My name is Splattercat, and we are here once again playing Aarklash Legacy, the fantastic game by Cyanide Studios that I am actually at this point fairly ready to wholeheartedly commit to and tell you guys to go buy it. I understand that you're bored with this waiting, but I need to talk to my viewers. And they made a Blood Bowl reference. Denzel, he said if we're going to stand here this long, we should play some Blood Bowl, which I thought was a really badass reference. Let's run through the door, which has a strange flame coming out of it. Not a big one for wandering through the doors with flames. I want this guy. This guy looks like a champ. I want this guy all up in my party. He seems like he would be the kind of person like an Ogren or something that you would just want to have around.
We have not killed enough of these lion knights.
Wendaru, we are bound to protect the guild. We cannot do that if we're dead.
It is not my intent to die. My heart calls for vengeance. We kill them all, and the danger for the guild dies with them.
We must go to the guild hold in Acheron. Those are the standing orders if all else fails. Nella's counsel is sound.
Acheron? Who would go there?
Exactly, my dear.
Denzel, are we in the right place?
That's what the map says. There's only one way to be sure. We must go forward.
Onward it is.
Let's see. Tip, plan your directional shots. Yeah, tell me that. Tell me that already. God. How about aim your directional shots properly? That's the tip they should be giving me because I can't seem to do it. What I do like about this game is we're playing monsters. That's super badass. I like how they didn't just give us a bunch of knights in shining armor here. I like how everybody's like a weird... Like, for example, with Naka, she's like a weird, teched-out kind of cyber demon slash... You know, she's a cool character. She looks awesome from a design standpoint. She's unique. I like her. And I like how we have, like, we're playing with goblins. We do have a human in our party, obviously. But at the same time, I do like... Oh, we have enemies. Let me talk. A swordsman, an archer of Alahan, and a epic swordsman. So let's put Naka into her stone mode here. And then once she's in that mode, we'll go ahead and get her... Actually, let's cancel that. We'll have her drop the hammer on that guy, and then from there, we're just going to have her... I keep forgetting to hold down the shift. So there we are, we do that, and then there we go, auto attack. Let's get Denzel over here, and once he is in range, I think he's going to go bother the archers, actually. So let's send him over there. He's going to get them bleeding, get them taken care of. Maybe take my wizard and put her over here, and then have Wendaru, like right there. That seems about right. Let's get Naka healing too, I guess, while we're on the subject. I'd also like to put a leech grain on the swordsman there. Let's drop the hammer on that swordsman, and then also we'll drop it on the archer as well right after. Oh, she got a new ability, Elemental Chains. After 3 seconds of incantation time, Nella reduces by 20% the attack speed of the enemy for 10 seconds. Might be a useful ability to throw around. It costs 50 MP. She's got 300. What are these costing me? 150. So she can drop 2 nukes at a time. I may not be using my skills appropriately here, but I like dropping nukes. I can't help it. Dropping nukes is an addiction. We'll keep an eye on, I suppose, help out there for now. There it is. So that mob should go down fairly soon. Let's put Denzel on this mob. So now that he's leveled up a tad, we're going to drop him into his speedy mode, and then Shadow Assassin, and then... I can do this. I can hold down the shift key. I am proficient in shift key holding.
My name is Denzel.
Alright.
Shall I write it on your skin with your own blood?
Oh my god, there's lions. How could this situation get any worse? How are you going to send lions after me? That doesn't seem fair. Let's taunt. Although that lion is looking fabulous. Like whatever hairstylist he went to before this combat... Magnificent, sir. Let's step back on over here with Wendaru, maybe? Hopefully Naka can get control of this guy. The grain of healing should get us out of this situation. Let's take a look at the lions. Oh, they're pretty beefy. 1,500 health on this guy, pretty much resistant to everything. He's got an ability called Bite, which means he knocks you down and deals 30 physical damage per second and absorbs your HP. That's kind of terrifying. Might be time to throw a heal on this character. Oh, and we've been rooted. Okay, so somebody just dropped the hammer on us. Maybe consider... Oh, she can heal too. Well, then I'm going to have to use her as a backup. Let's go ahead and heal Naka, because I don't really have a choice here. Wait, was that a hot? What is that? Or is it? Oh, it's still being incanted. Okay. Alright, good. So we're safe now. Denzel's holding down over here. Hopefully doing a little bit of damage. Let's have him just kind of queue up for now. We're going to have him get a dot going on that character. Step her back just a tad. That grain of healing is going to buy us out of this for just a moment. It's going to buy us a little bit of time. Naka's ready to roll with all of her abilities, so let's do Silica. We're going to queue up that strike, and then we're also... Silica, strike, and then we're going to do Vitae treatment as well. Nella for the time being. I don't really know what I want her to do. She seems to not have enough MP for just about anything, so maybe we'll just keep her auto-attacking that lion over there to say that we did. I'll have people tag team up a little bit here. She's regenerating fairly rapidly, so we should be okay. We'll throw another heal out. Throw that one there as well, and Naka's looking mighty fine now, taking care of business. We've got enough for another lightning bolt here. We'll drop it on the elite. Let's go ahead and put Denzel into kill mode, and there it is. And so it says our wheel swords are now level 4. Ah, they have access to their skill tree. Okay, cool. Well, let's take a look at the skill tree and see what we've got going on. This could potentially end up roping a little bit of time, as I do like to plan out my builds a tad. That's cool. It's simple, but I like it. So Denzel, it looks like we have 4 paths we can go down. It looks like we've got like a melee path, like a agility path. We've got kind of like a diversion or maybe like a subterfuge type deal going on over here, and then we've got a magical path. Let's take a look at the abilities at the end of the chain, because that always seems like something that I feel like we can get behind. And I think we're actually, we're upgrading the abilities that they have. Alright, that makes sense. Well then let's take a look. It looks like Artery Gnaw is the split right here. And that inflicts 600 damage to all enemies within 3 meters. That's pretty cool. That's a AoE attack, which AoE attacks are always kind of sexy in these games. I might work towards that. Over here, we've already got Mystic Theft. Or wait, we already have... Yeah, we have Mystic Theft. Parasitic Theft is what we don't have, right? Yeah. Parasitic Theft we lack, and it removes all of the increase effects. Let's see here. Denzel immediately removes the increase effects which affect his target. And he blinds them. Okay. What's the difference? That one silences them. So one's for mages and one is for melees. That's going to be a tough call. I don't really know how many levels we're going to have going into the end game. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to go all the way down the chain. I sincerely doubt it, although they are leveling up a lot. Let's have a look here. On this side, we have Shadow Assassin, which we already have, which blinds and deals damage. Over here, we've got Shadow of the God Rat, which is going to do the same thing, but do silencing. So it's an interesting thing. We can actually probably build him in both directions. If we kind of go out just a little bit, we can give him both a blind and a silence. For now, I don't really want to update, utility seems to be the thing that I'd like to have right now. So let's see if we can work towards getting a blind in. Does that increase the duration? Ooh, 50% attack speed. I'm going to go that direction because it's too good to ignore. A 50% attack speed increase is going to be a lot of damage. I'll get him that buff for now, but in the future, I'd like to think about maybe approaching both of these traits and at least getting a silence. Even if it does no damage, it's a status effect that I can throw on any applicable boss. Looking at Naka now. Naka has the same ability, but she can go instead of Sword Axe down Bate Noctis, or Bate Noctis. It's a directional shot where she throws ethereal energy, and it deals 450 magic damage to all enemies through which it passes within 6 meters. So it's kind of like a short-range Kamehameha. And if we upgrade it, what does it do? It just increases the damage, the range. Okay. Over on this end, we've got Rocky Plasma. And that looks like it's going to... It adds a... Oh, it gives the effect to everybody in the area. This one increases what looks like... Okay, this one ends up with regeneration and all that kind of deal. This one applies it to everybody in the area and removes crowd control effects. I like the options here. These options are diverse and they're going to have long-lasting consequences on the way that we choose to approach the rest of the game. I think that's pretty cool. The regeneration ability I haven't seen as being super useful just yet, but maybe fully upgraded it might be, but I don't really want to dedicate on this. We already have healers, would be my argument here. We already have healers, so why waste a ton of time giving her buttons that she can push just to restore her own health. Especially now that I've realized Nella can throw heals around. So now that we know that Nella can heal, well, all bets seem to be sort of off. So I'll probably leave this alone for now. Neuro Taunt. We are going to want to make Taunt work, and I bet there's going to be like an AoE option. Yeah, okay, but she binds herself, which makes me think that might make her immobile, but at AoE taunts. Useful thing to think about. And on the other end, we've got what looks like applying debuffs and increasing the range of her single target taunt. I suppose for now, she's a tank, so I think I should build her like a tank. I don't think I should build her off to the DPS direction for now, so let's move her in the direction of maybe getting some more tanking abilities. Denzel, we already picked. Nella. Nella, my conflicting interest here is going to be between choosing denial abilities. Let's see here. So between her knockdown, we got the ability to either move this way, and it begins... Let me see here. It lowers the armor. Or never mind, it becomes a buff. It becomes a buff and an AoE knockdown. So basically when she pops this, she becomes a badass. And you'll want to do it at the beginning of combat, or whenever it suits us. Just because it turns her into a killing machine. So I could see this being something that you would want to pop before you unload with all of your nukes. Over on this end, it looks like it immobilizes enemies. So it becomes single target, but it becomes a CC to where it locks somebody down. My temptation therein being sometimes locking down that single boss unit is way more useful than AoE knocking down people, especially since if you look at the duration of that, immobilizing somebody for 15 seconds can give you a lot of breathing room. That's an interesting option, and I'm going to keep an eye on it as we go through. Elemental Storm. So this ability right here steals the enemy's abilities. And it appears as though... I'm sorry, that's not the ability steal. This is the one that reduces their attack speed. Okay. And it continues down that chain until it starts lowering their armor, and also it's kind of a mortal strike. It keeps them from getting any healing. It's a healing denial ability. Over here we have Elemental Storm, which is an AoE that lowers the attack speed of everyone around for 10 seconds. Also a unique ability. In the healing range, she can channel a heal to one of our enemies, or to one of our allies. I'm sorry, we don't want to heal our enemies. That'd be a terrible plan. This ability's worthless. So, and as it goes up, it also gives them buffs. So that's a fairly typical priest move where you just sit there and kind of channel a heal on somebody. On this side, we've got the nuke heals where we can just drop hard, like holy light type nukes, where we just endlessly bomb on people. Just bomb on people super hard. And at a certain point, it actually applies the healing to her as well. So it looks like they've borrowed a lot of abilities from World of Warcraft here, or I regret saying that already. I regret saying that as I said it. Lots of games have those types of abilities where as you heal somebody, yourself gets healed. So I recant. Let's see here. In her DPS, which is where I sort of want to apply her, she increases her damage here, and it becomes a chain lightning to where it jumps between people. If we were to build Denzel in a AoE direction, this would be, I think if they acted in collusion together, so if she drops this at the same time as Denzel drops his, I get the distinct feeling we could wipe out big chunks of enemies, but we are going to get more characters as the game goes along too, so we'll see who shows up as well. Blazing Flash, she can channel the lightning for 10 seconds, and as that increases, it also debuffs the enemy by reducing their speed of movement. And it allows them not to cast control skills, so it keeps us from being CC'd. A lot of interesting options there, and I think our best plan is probably going to be to move in this direction for now. She's a nuker, let's keep her as a nuker. Wendaru, on the other hand, is going to be our dedicated healer. Everything she has is support. On her Sacred Feast here, we can buff that. And as we buff Sacred Feast, it looks like it takes their HP, it gives her more MP, obviously, but at the end, she takes all of her buffs and transfers them to other people too. Probably not going to focus on this tree much. It does give you a good button to get some MP back if you're really, really desperate, but this tree Yeah, unless the one on this left side is any good. It looks like she continues to tap. And when she does that, she regenerates HP after she does it too. Or no, the ally regenerates HP. So you steal the HP, but it lets them regenerate a little bit of it. And also has the added effect, I suppose, transfers the increase effects from her to the ally she targets. So it does the same thing over on this end, which makes me wonder why you would go over here. I guess for sheer MP throughput. Let's look here. It does 150 on both sides. Interesting. So it looks like if she casts it on an enemy, she's got options here. Okay, so she can cast this on an enemy. That's the difference. She heals him for 500 and gets MP back. So this one becomes usable on enemies too, which I don't really want to operate by healing people. Here we can get a buff to our healing, and if we go in this direction, it looks like the projectile, it finds an enemy and damages them as well as healing. So it heals the ally it hits, and then it bounces and kills or deals damage to an enemy. On this end of the chain, it becomes a ally-only directional shot, and everybody it passes through gets healed. Now, given the thin nature of the projectile and how many times I've missed already, lining people up in this game doesn't seem like it's going to be something that could be tangibly done, especially once the enemies start to get a bit more complicated. I think what I'm going to do, let's take a look at the last leech grain over here, but after 20 seconds, obviously, it's still going to blow up on this end. Let's see, what are we doing here? So that's going to reduce the damage that they deal and buff the HP healing effect. On this side, ooh, this side it becomes a detonation, which is what I was hoping for. So if we go down this chain, the enemy, if we kill them before the duration is up, it blows up and heals everybody much in the way this does. I think this is probably going to be the better way to work. So I think I'm going to go down this chain right here so that I can target an enemy and blow him up right when I want to heal everybody. Okay, so it looks like we've allocated our points to everybody now that this episode has turned into a giant mess of me just kind of moving points around and talking to you guys about the abilities. But I feel like if I just run through clicking things, I'm not giving you guys a good impression of the game, or you're not going to understand what I'm selecting. So I feel like I should fill you in all the way, so at least at the bare minimum, you can come back to this episode in the future and figure out why it is I'm selecting what I'm selecting. What is this? Let's go touch it. That's always good on adventures. He's pointing with the luminescent finger of power. Is there a centralized thing that I should be pointing at here? I bet it's going to centralize right here. That's... yeah, I would almost guarantee that looks like a little crater. So let's see if we can solve this puzzle really quickly. Alright. There's another one over there. Let's see, we got a treasure chest over here. Hopefully no nasty enemies show up to ruin our life. Free treasure? I don't know. Send the goblin. Ring of Ash and the crenellated earring. We've got some loot to take a look at, so let's look at our necklaces. Not so good. He doesn't have a necklace right now, so it might be nice to throw something on him. I mean, for now, the plus 3% of physical damage is better than nothing. He's not going to really make use of the magical damage. Healing received is interesting. I wonder if there's mage tanks later. That seems kind of like it increases the amount of healing you get and also increases your damage. Interesting object. Maybe we'll get some really unique characters later on who aren't really within the archetype that you would expect, like tanking mages and things of that nature. The Ring of Ash. 9 magic armor, 3 healing received, and I think that's actually downright better than the ring that she's using. Let's have a look here. I think so. The one physical damage reduction, obviously the 9% magic armor. I don't know the difference between magic armor, so that reduces, whereas resistance... okay, so resistance gives you, I think, probably the ability to resist. It's not completely... it says when a skill is resisted, the value of the effects or of their duration... oh, so if you resist, you only take 5%. Or a 5% reduction, or something. I don't know. I don't have time to read the tooltips. I'll read them in between episodes and figure it out. That's kind of worded a little ambiguously. But anyways, this functions like armor does. It just reduces all effects that are put on you by those two, whereas resistance to magic gives you a chance to resist, but I'm not sure what this fight is. This your chance to resist, possibly? I think it's probably your chance to resist, maybe? I don't know. We'll move on out without thinking about it too heavily. Worst case is I'll look it up in between here and there. And let's move this final statue of this pointy-headed man. Like I said, the bigger hat is always the person who controls everything. That one looks a little off-center, but I don't know. Did we miss somebody? Oh, we did. There's one right here. Maybe we should not stand in the middle of the explosion range. Let's stand over here by the statue. I feel like something bad's about to happen. Okay, yep, something bad happened. What is this? A major elemental of light. Pretty much immune to magic. Not a whole lot of things we're going to be able to do to her. Abilities that she has on hand. Sparklings around the elemental. Ooh, okay, so she's probably going to summon something. Pillar of energy. 50 damage per second if you don't get away with it. And it roots, so we're probably going to want to set Denzel up behind if we can. And after we do that, we're going to pop him into battle mode and get him running. With her, let's put her into prismatic silica for now, just to kind of be sure that nothing terrible happens. And then I think what I'd like to do is maybe spread my units out a tad.
My name is Dead.
Oops, she's been blinded. 100% of attacks to miss. Well, we don't really need her to hit right now. That's okay. I think I'm going to use Nella as a healer during this fight, because that magic resistance right there is pretty impressive, and it seems like a waste of mana to do otherwise. Maybe elemental chains, though? Let's see if we can slow this unit down a tad. Is Denzel blinded too? Oh, he is.
Shall I write it on your skin?
Alright, well, that was well timed on behalf of my esteemed opponent here. What is she casting right now? Pillar of energy. That's probably going to jump off on Noggin. There's not going to be a lot I can do about it. Yeah, it's just a channeled ability that I'm going to have to live with. As soon as that blind falls off, we're going to try and deal some damage here. Oh, there's enemies everywhere. What do they do? 800 HP. Oh, they deal damage. Yikes, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Well then. The best laid plans of mice and men and all that, and they're all magically resistant. So maybe we send Denzel off. Let's have everybody focus if we can. Oh, never mind, they get healed. There's nothing we can do about it, so this might be a DPS race then. Let's send Denzel back. And what is she casting now? Storm of Light. It immobilizes the target and inflicts 400 damage. And it propagates 4 meters. So let's make sure that we're out of the way of the effect that's about to be dropped. Maybe falling back a tad. Oop, nope. Let's get them back on point. And what I'd like to do now is let's throw the first heal over here. Just to make sure that whatever horrible thing is about to befall her. Okay, good. So that worked out fine. Let's pop his Hysteria of the Rat God again. Hopefully avoiding any blinds. These can't be killed. Let's drop a Leech Grain on her, just to say that we did. We've got a little bit of extra mana from Nella anyways that I've been saving to heal. I think I'm going to get her first heal going. Denzel's got enough energy back. Let's do Shadow Assassin really quickly. Should deal a bit more damage there. We're not at half health quite yet, but we are dealing a pretty good amount of damage. Not enough SP to cast anything else, so we're just going to keep Denzel going. Has her heal gone off yet? I don't think. The hell is that? Pillar of Energy. Okay, Pillar of Energy's going back up. On who? I believe it's going to be Naka. Yeah, it's going to be on Naka. You can see there's a little aura that's around her feet. I think what I'll have Naka do is drop a hammer. Actually, no. Naka's going to heal first. We'll have Naka heal up. Then we're going to have her put on her... Maybe I should try and do the armor first before that goes off. I can't guarantee it's going to work. Let's get back down to Denzel. He's got enough for Cutthroat, so let's cut her throat to say that we did. Windaroo. Maybe throw just kind of a desperation heal over there on Denzel.
What would you do without?
Okay, very nice. Let's throw another heal over here to Naka. There we go. We're in good shape now. It's not so bad. See? I'm going to put him back into speedy attack mode. Hopefully without getting... Oh my god, it healed. Alright, well I need to figure out how we circumvent that. Maybe... Yeah, I'm not really sure. That heal one, I really wish that I had a combat log right now. That is what I find myself lusting for at the moment. It's going to be Storm of Light, so we need to get Denzel out. And then we're going to put Denzel back in. Let's get a heal going on Naka. And I cut that throat again. Oh my god, that is dealing so much damage. But her heal appears to be spammable. Oh, really hoping that goes off in time. If it doesn't, this has the potential to get really nasty really soon. And so begins the spam healing, unfortunately. Let's drop her buff there. Denzel's still blinded. Well then. Fell in agony to save the agonizing unit? Okay. Well, before anything else terrible goes wrong. Oh my god, so much damage.
I've not gone wrong for the gods.
That is absurd. Well, let's hope that Denzel goes into beast mode here because it's really our only option. There we go. Oh my god, that was really rough.
All right.
So it appears as though... So what I'm going to say about the commentary on that fight, the way that I'm going to organize this is it appears as though the mobs follow typical MMO fights, where if you lose your tank, they pretty much just go apeshit on everybody else around. Unfortunately, there was probably a way to circumvent that Chains of Agony thing, maybe by running in with her and stunning the mob. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about getting outside the box a little bit as we play this game, kind of coming up with... I thought in previous... My thing was... The Chains of Light seemed like its duration was over earlier on, or I don't know, without a combat log, I'd love to go back through. I would absolutely love to run back through the combat log of this fight and see what that was, but it is what it is. This is a great spot to break off. Luckily, Denzel's a badass, so he came through and handled it all for us. I think what I should like to do is break it off here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in an increasingly hairy episode. I look forward to seeing you guys next time, and take care out there, everybody.